What do you think about level of LEC supports? Level of LEC supports. Let me pull up the teams. LEC Winter 2025. On the first row, Mickey X, Labrov, June, Targamas, Alvaro. All of them are good, I think. Especially Alvaro, I think. Really good. But honestly, all of them really good, yeah. So I played against Execute and Loopy. Let's just do first row, actually. We'll do one row at a time. So obviously Mickey, he's going to be good forever and ever. Labrov is really good. They had a tough first 2 games, but as I said on another stream, I don't think Labrov is the guy you should worry about. He's played LEC for a long time. He's been one of the best supports for a long time. It's more about Skewmond, I think, if anything. He's rookie, and a tough start can really put you in a place mentally that you do not want to be in. And he, as a rookie, might not know how to handle that. But the good part about G2 is that they have good support structure around the team, so most likely he's going to be fine. So Mickey X, Labrov, definitely good players. Nothing to say about those. June, also a really good player. Nothing to say about him. I think Targum is actually good. I know there was some stuff going on last year with him, but he's actually good, I think. The one thing I would say is out of the support so far on the first row, Mickey X, Labrov, June, Targamas, Alvaro. I think Targamas is the player with the weirdest champion pool, or the player that perhaps plays champions other players do not play really well, and perhaps champions that other players play not so well, if you understand what I mean. Like maybe Targamas can play Pyke the best out of all of these guys. Maybe his Senna is way better than the other guys. Probably. But maybe if you think about Arel, you're not thinking Targamas, you're thinking Labrov, you're thinking Alvaro, thinking June. If you understand what I mean. Like even though all of them are good players, I think Targamas is good at different things than the other players. So maybe he will be good in metas. The other players aren't good, and the other players will be good in a meta that Targamas isn't good, if that makes sense. I think he maybe needs more off-meta champions to be the best version of himself, which is completely okay. I think I'm kind of similar in that sense, actually. I'm good on champions that others aren't good on, and then I'm worse on champions that other players are good on. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just about how you use it, sort of. Can you use it? Is the meta allowing you to use it? Does your team allow you to use it? So that's what I would say for the first row. I'm a big fan of Alvaro though and Supa. I think those guys are actually good. Actually good. But honestly, all of these players look good, no? Upset Mickey, good. Hansama Labrov, good. Noah June, good. Kalis Targamas, good. Supa Alvaro, good. These are 5 good bot lanes. There's not a single player out of these 10 players, I think, that are not good. All of them are actually good. All right, second row. Second row. So we have Patrick Execute. I played against Execute in... Actually, let's just do the supports first. So we have Execute, Loopy, Paris, Stand, Hylissang. I would say the level is probably lower on them than in the first row. Stand I don't know much about. I played against him in solo rank a bit. But I don't feel like I can say anything about him. I haven't watched enough of his games to say anything. And neither have I really watched enough of Paris' games to say anything about him. But he's supposed to be the hyped guy, right? Like Paris is supposed to be the best support in the league. At least that's how hyped he was coming into this year. But I feel like I can't say much about these guys because I've played against them, but I haven't watched enough of their games to know if they're actually good or not. But Paris was really hyped. I'm not sure a lot of people expected Sten to be here though. I didn't expect Sten to be in LEC, to be honest. Is Sten a top 10 support in LEC? In Europe? Not sure. But again, I cannot really say because I haven't watched enough of his games to know. He played in what team last year? Koi? Vitality? Koi? Games of Legends Sten. Where did he play last year? Vitality, right? And then it was Koi before that. Vitality B. 2024 and then 2023 played in Koi, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't really want to say anything too much about him because I'm not honestly sure. And same for Paris. But Paris is supposed to be really hyped. And Ice is obviously good. So this bot lane gets a pass as well, for sure. So this bot lane should be good in theory. Ice is good and Paris should be good. Flakked Stand, again, I don't know. Flakked used to be really good. He's pretty much always been good, hasn't he? In his own way. Not a big fan of But he played Seri, right? He played Seri and he played Varus and something else in the first week. I wasn't a big fan of the Seri, to be honest. So we have Execute, Loopy, Hylissang left. I actually played against both Execute and Loopy in Korea when I was there. I think Luon was way better than Loopy, from what I remember. But I thought Loopy was alright. Just that Luon was really good back when he played with Nongshim. That bot lane was kind of strong in spring last year when I played against them. It was Vital and Luon, but Luon at that time was called H. And then he renamed to Luon, he went to Europe, he was good there. And now they have Loopy, which played in Damwon before. So I think he actually has history with Rahel from Damwon. So in theory, this should also be a good bot lane. Decently good bot lane at least. Patrick Execute. I mean, Patrick has been in the LEC now for a very long time. And I would say, to some extent, Patrick is good. But he's good on his champs. If you understand what I mean. He's kind of like a budget Hansama, in theory. Plays like the same champs really well. Draven, Kalista, all those aggressive picks. Lucian, he's a really good Lucian, Patrick. It's basically Hansama, in theory. On the right picks, I think Patrick is good. But on the wrong picks, maybe other AD carries are better. But on the right picks, Patrick is strong. In a Kalista meta, which it kind of is right now, I feel like Patrick should be good. He played it though, didn't he? And did he have a good game? But he's a good Kalista, he's good Lucian, good Draven. Really like him on our aggressive picks. And Execute is Yonghoon from Astralis, so people might know him better by that name. But he was also not too bad in Korea, I think. The thing is, he took over after Duro. So I played against Fox in spring, and then they had Diabel and Duro, both of which are LCK right now. Then Execute came in for summer when Duro got promoted. And I feel like they got worse. Which is understandable since Duro is really good and Execute is worse than Duro. But I don't think Execute was bad by any means. So I feel like in theory Patrick Execute should also be a decent lane, right? It shouldn't be too bad. Given the right meta for Patrick. And then lastly we have Carzzy Hylissang. Carzzy is a good AD for sure. And Hilly is a good support for sure, but he seems to be a little bit stressed, perhaps. I think Hilly in the right setting is all of a sudden a top support in the league. And Hilly in the wrong setting, maybe not so much. I do not know how this team is going. I don't think they were very functional last year. And last year it was... Who was there last year? Vitio and Photon, right? Photon, Linkas, Vitio, Carzzy, Hilly. It seemed like they had a lot of problems. And I don't think Hilly has an easy time performing in a setting like that. So if they can bond as a team, become good as a team, I think Hilly is great and all of a sudden a top support, but it's important that he feels good. But I think in theory we have a lot of good players, a lot of good supports, a lot of good ADs. I wouldn't say anyone really stands out. Like the one that stands out the most for me is probably Stend. Everyone else feels like they should be there in some way or the other. And I don't know Stend enough to say if he should as well or not. But that's it, I think.